Lucas Kinsey here with Buffalo head coach Hunter Hughes as West Texas A&M wraps up the signing class for 2021. And for Coach Hughes, the fifth recruiting class that you have had as your time here as head coach at West Texas A&M. First of all, just give the fans a little bit of an overview of this signing class, what you were looking for and what you were able to get out.
We're looking for a lot of competition and, with depth to get in. And we felt like this was a good year with the issues going with COVID and coming back. We had some scholarship money that we wanted to be able to give out. We were able to get some guys that, on another year might have been gone to Division I or 1AA, but because they couldn't, FBS or FCS.
Right.
We felt like that we had an opportunity to get some of those guys, and I felt like we did.
Yeah.
I thought we did a good job of getting those. I thought it was a little more, the talent pool was a little bit better than what it's been in the past.
Yeah.
In terms of that. I think that number one, I like our team we have here right now, and I think these guys will provide competition and depth for us as we move forward through the spring, summer, and into the fall season.
Speaking of fall season, you and I talked last year about how that would be an advantage. We felt like in terms of when recruiting came, the fact that WT was one of very few schools in Division II to play a season in the fall. As you guys were out on the recruiting trail this season, how did you see that play out as an advantage for WT?
Well, every high school coach asked, how were y'all able to do it? And I said, well, how were y'all able to do it? I mean, y'all did it more than we did.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, again, football's supposed to be played in the fall. There hadn't been one spring football season that's been successful.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to be this time. And for our players' sake and for health reasons and to build ourselves up to be stronger, we chose to play in the fall. And, we told people that. We told the recruits that. We came out and said, we're the first ones to come out and say that. We're going to play. And we kind of bucked the system, and then Angelo State jumped on board with it, and we played them twice, and we kind of helped them get games who we were playing, because we were trying to get everybody to play. I think it's only right and I hope those guys play in the spring. I hope they do, because those players and those kids deserve that opportunity to play. And again, like I said earlier, it's the opportunity to play and to teach them something outside of football that you're going to have to do some things in life that you're not going to like in order to proceed and progress. Well, we got to get a symptom check. Big deal.
Yeah.
Get it done. You got to wear a mask. Big deal. Get it done. Go through life and learn something. So I think our players are better off in life going through the adversity and the things that they had to go through and the challenges they went through, for that reason, more than anything dealing with football.
Sure. This season, the Buff fans were very excited, especially in the Texas Panhandle, to see the local talent that we were able to haul out. And so there was a lot of solid talent there. Talk about a few of those players.
Started with Canadian, with Josh Colwell and Reagan Cochran, and they played here. So they'd seen been in the stadium with the crowd in it, and they were excited about that. They were excited about to play in the stadium, and the school itself sells itself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great academic institution, and we find that out as we're getting kids into school, what we need to do to help get them in school. That's, I think that was a big selling point, is they were able to come to games this fall that they might normally would have not come to.
Yeah.
Heston Marshall, every one of them, Heston, Lance, Welps.
You mentioned Cade Cox, the linebacker from
Cox,
Dumas.
Yeah, and they were all here at games.
Yeah.
And that helps. That helps a ton, and it was good for us.
Yeah.
It was good for us, and it was a different year than what had been in. There were some guys that their games were canceled, so they made plans to come here because they could. So we had Christian Marshall from Wimberley came up to the game. That's a 7-hour drive, and trust me, I drive that sucker a lot.
Sure.
So,
well, and for me covering the Canyon Eagles this year, I have to ask you about Rafe Butcher. He was a kid that I got to see a lot this season. Tough kid, played offense and defense. Talk a little bit about Rafe.
Just a football player. I think you look at in the Panhandle, and I'll speak specifically on Rafe, but he's just a football player. He loves the game.
Yeah.
You can tell he loves the game. He's got a passion for it. Every single kid in the Panhandle, and I think that's what's different about this year. There were more kids with that desire and that passion to play football that I've seen in the past.
Really stood out.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was about, but it really made sense. And I mean, we got a lot of guys. Let me tell you something. If there's a good football player out there, and we'll take a chance on him. We'll get him out there and we'll give him an opportunity, I think, and that's the biggest thing.
So the quarterback position, you mentioned one of those quarterbacks that we signed, Josh Colwell, and so you also got two other guys in, Kyle Brown from Vista Ridge and then also Seth Ford from Round Rock. We've got Nick Gerber, obviously with a lot of experience, coming back next season for the Buffaloes, and so you bring in these three guys. What did you like about these three quarterbacks and maybe finding your future star?
Again, they're winners. That's the bottom line. They find a way to win. They all have a little aura about them that they're going to be successful and they're going to win every single time they step on the field. And when you have that trait as a quarterback, that's a natural leadership ability. Guys tend to, it's like a good cancer. If there's such thing as a good cancer, then it spreads throughout.
Sure.
They have that. We can talk, Kyle Brown's very accurate. Josh is very accurate. Seth is probably athletic, and he can run, and he's a bigger guy than those other two. They're both, Josh and Kyle are kind of different because Kyle's stood back there and been in the spread offense, and Josh has gotten under center a little more, and so they both bring a little something different in their abilities, but it's that intangible of just being confident and a winner.
Yeah. We talked a lot about offense. Let's switch gears and talk about the defense. We know that Coach Hughes, you're an old school defensive style type of coach. And so on the defensive side, as you look at some of the players we've signed, who are some guys that stood out this year that you're very excited about playing for the Buffs next year?
I'll start with the front with Eric Goodman. I mean, I think Eric, he's probably 6'5", 230 pounds right now, but he got a frame that can work. He might be 250. I don't know. I'll probably screwed that up, Eric. Sorry. It says I'm a 6'4", 220. So, but he can be a difference maker. Jaden Jackson is just a physical up front. All those guys, physical up front, explosive off the ball, first step, hands out. I mean, that's what we look for. And then we look for guys that can bend the edge. I think Alex Katiba can do that. This Olisa Mika, who has not been here, he has some of that. He has that burst coming off the ball. So, we're still kind of waiting on a couple more guys at that position that we're hoping to get that I think are difference makers as well. And then if we go through spring and we see what we got and other guys come available, we'll find a way to get them here. And that, to me, that's the thing is our doors never close, recruiting never ends, and especially at that D-line position. So our linebackers, I think we got a lot more athletic.
You mentioned the speed of those linebackers.
Yes, way more athletic than what we have been able to get, and in terms of numbers. Okay. Every single one of those guys can run. And then put on their linebackers. They're physical. They're not afraid to put their head in there and go make a tackle. So, and then DB, I think we got longer in the corner position,
which is always good.
Yeah, and got faster. We got some guys with some speed, and we got some return guys in there. So, that doesn't mean, I know Tobias is probably watching this, he's about to tweet something, but Tobias is still going to return punts. So, and we'll change his number every game, though, so you'll kick it to him. But we maybe got some guys that can return kicks that we've kind of kept Tobias off that. So I think we're setting ourselves up pretty good now. All this is really good, and I can say that. But and I could say this is our best class.
It's got to translate.
But 3 years down the road, ask me. That's the difference. And every college coach in America is sitting at one of these press conferences and they're saying how great their class is, because they are, and I'm proud of this. But I want to see, and that's why I'm really excited about this, because these guys are hungry and they want to grow and they want to get in our culture
Mm-hmm.
and continue to grow that way. So.
We talked a little bit about your style, and that's one of the things that I've learned over the years is you really are attracted to that type of player that has grit, just the determination, the toughness. Some of those guys that really, honestly, will stand out on the special teams unit for the Buffaloes. Name a couple of guys that through the recruiting process instantly stood out in terms of having those characteristics.
Britt McQuitty, number one. He's from Texoma. He actually played at Stratford for I think 3 years, and then they moved to Texoma in Oklahoma. And we were told, Coach Bassett's brother coaches at a high school up there, and he said it's the best football player he's seen at that level since he's been there.
Yeah.
And that's grit. He's that type of kid. He'll chew up a bag of nails and spit them out and put it on a roof for you. Those type of guys. That that when it comes time, they're going to be there for you.
Yep.
He's one that stands out. I think that all of those. Those local guys are that guy. They're that type of guys.
The lunch pail Texas Panhandle boys.
Heston Marshall. You watch his film and shoot. He didn't come off the field. He did everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good athlete. And again, I'm excited about all of them.
Yeah.
I'm naming some and I'm leaving off others, and I don't mean to do that.
Sure.
But it's a big group.
Yeah. No, you did a great job with all of these players. Okay, so Coach, you have faced a lot of adversity. The team has obviously through this season, and now we're into 2021. Yep. What are you looking forward to? Your feelings going into spring football, and hopefully things continue to get better in terms of the pandemic. But what is the feeling? What is the atmosphere around the program right now?
I think it's good. Our kids are excited. Tomorrow we start another phase of what we do in our process of a year, and they're going to come out and compete against each other, and our coach is going to run it. They know it's going to be difficult, but what we want to see is guys fight. We want to see guys compete against each other. We want to see, on their team, when they drafted their team, we want to see them, how they work together as a team. So it's not just offensive linemen together, defensive linemen together. It's a mixture of them. Part of that is in our culture, we want them to get to know each other.
Yeah.
So if they draft, they're going to hold each other accountable. And I think we have Friday night date night with the coaches, and guys who miss during the week something.
Yeah.
They're out here 10:30 to midnight Friday night with us.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah, they won't have much candy or
Okay.
chocolates or hearts, flowers for old Coach Hughes here, but it's one of those things that it's part of what we do, and I think our players are looking forward to it. They're looking to go and competing against each other.
Yeah.
And again, that's what's going to build us, the competition amongst us.
Yep.
Well,
great job with this year's signing class.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have a couple more over here on this list going through the week.
All right. Coach Hughes with the West Texas A&M 2021 signing class here today.